Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 Conclave as Scotland. In our last episode we managed to form our empire title, so we're now the Empire of Scotland rather than just the Kingdom, which is pretty good, and we've also significantly reorganized the realm. We've consolidated a lot of our vassals under kingdom titles now, so we're down to only 15 of 28 on our vassal limit, and if we look at our realm tree we can see how powerful these new vassals are. The King of Jerusalem especially is 31% of our power. And I guess Ireland is probably going to be pretty close, except they're having a bit of a revolt right now, so they are actually potentially more powerful than Jerusalem if that wasn't happening. And we've also vassalized the two holy orders here, the Knights and the Templars, which may end up being more trouble than it's worth considering how powerful they apparently are, but I guess what's done is done. We'll maybe get some benefit out of them as well if we're going to be fighting more people who aren't of our religion, which we're doing right now, though we don't really need holy orders to fight the Adavides. We're just going to take this county in here, which is part of our de jure Kingdom of Portugal. We also have the peasant revolt up here in the Isle of Man, which we're about to go and take care of with this army. So let's get this started. They're retreating to Carrick, and they are actually going to escape from there, so we'll try going this way. Oh, we just got them in Carrick, that's fine. River crossing into hills, so not ideal, and also we don't have commanders. But fortunately, we got away with all of that incompetence and won anyway. And we have Shia rebels. Okay, well, we'll have to deal with that as well. Who are, I'm assuming, over here? Okay. Well, we have our retinue over here, and apparently Sicily has joined some of their troops to our retinue. Which is actually quite convenient. Also raised the levy from Jerusalem to bring that up to 12k, which is going to be more than enough to take care of these rebels, hopefully. Assume we can get through here without taking attrition. Looks okay. Alright then. Let's actually put commanders in charge of here so we don't have the same problem as we did previously. Let's actually not put our heir in charge. Alright, we actually captured the leader there, so we can end this immediately. And execute him for some piety, and I don't think we're going to need to keep these troops raised. We're not going to need them for our war down here, or over in Jerusalem, so we'll just disband them. Alright, so the Shia uprisings actually moved into the mountains here, so this is going to be a tougher battle, but we do have twice their numbers almost. So I think we'll be just fine here. Yep, no problems, okay. Disband our troops here, apart from our retinue, and Sicily as well, of course, is still here. Which is fine, they can hang out there. They'd be more useful over here with the rest of the Sicilian army, but guess we can't force them to do that. So one more holding to take in here, and 3 more here. I can't imagine we'll need to siege that many to get to 100 though. Okay. Somebody usurped something. A famous writer proposes to compose your family chronicles, so we could spend 114 gold and maybe become proud. I think that would be okay. And we had a daughter. With no particular traits. That's fine. So the Amorid Sultanate does have a reasonably sized army wandering around here. And is that the... I thought that might have been the end of the revolt in Ireland, but no. Our non-aggression pact, I think that must be with Sicily, has been dissolved. I guess there's been a death there. Oh no, it was with the Duke of Sicily, I think. Okay. I think we had two separate pacts there. Our daughter has come back because her husband died? Is that what happened? The church had just gotten some very beautiful stained glass windows, and as I and Amelie contemplated the windows, the priest approached us and asked us what we thought about them. I had thought about the symbolism of the windows. Well, she just repeated what I had said. Well, we'll just say it's a bit flattering, I suppose. So we can get Princess Effie here married to somebody else for perhaps another pact. She has a weak claim on the Holy Roman Empire, which I think we're unlikely to ever be able to press, because it's on elective succession. And we'd have to have a regency or something in power there to be able to press that, which is never going to happen. I guess what we could do is try to find her a matrilineal marriage and get her to have more children of our dynasty for future election to the Empire title. Perhaps some geniuses. We'll see. No geniuses available. She could get married to a strong character in about 5 years. Or to a strong 73-year-old who's very likely to be dead soon. I think we'll probably just see if we can get some other alliance with her. Grand Prince of Vitebsk. Looks like there's not that much available. This guy is a vassal of ours, or a vassal of a vassal. Alright, we'll just keep her at court and see if anybody offers for the time being. And somebody did just offer. The King of Norway wants to marry Prince of Norway. His son, I see. Yeah, okay, I'll accept that. Our King of Galicia has usurped a title, okay. From a vassal of his, I suppose, so he has this county. And Pharaoh has been converted. Our chaplain's working on this county though, so he can stay where he is. One of our prisoners has finished his education, so we'll just see if we can ransom him, and if not, just let him go. Okay, so we have our target county here fully sieged, and we're about to complete another siege over here, which gets us to 100. So we can enforce those demands, and we are now at peace. Okay. So let's get all of our stuff disbanded. And see where we want to declare war next. So I think probably England is going to be our next target. I think we don't have any great CBs we can actually claim duchy titles. So our Countess of Dyfed here has a claim on the whole duchy, which may or may not actually work. I think this was the same CB we used last time when we didn't end up actually gaining the counties. Our Duke of Kent has a claim on this duchy, so that would make him into a double duke, which I guess wouldn't be terrible. Our Duke of East Anglia has a claim on Northampton, which I guess would be okay as well. It's at least adjacent to his land. And now that we're an emperor, of course, we could potentially find a claimant to the whole kingdom and press their claim. Looks like there are only 2 female claimants who would accept an invitation, so I don't think we'd be able to press their claims currently. Our de jure claims are going to just be on single counties on behalf of our Duke of Northumberland and our Duke of East Anglia, respectively. But I think maybe one of those would be the safest. If I really thought that this one would result in us gaining those 2 counties, I'd probably do this, but I'm pretty sure this is the same as we did before, and it ended up with us not gaining anything. So, in that case, we'll just do the de jure claim on Durham, I think. The whole council is in favour, apart from King Patrick of Ireland, who thinks this war is not glorious enough. But we don't have to listen to him, so I think we'll just go ahead and declare this. We do have, of course, the Kaiser and the King of Sicily on our side, so that should make things pretty easy. I really should have checked, I guess, his strength as well. 21,000 compared to ours, almost 30,000. So yeah, I think we're fine, even if we didn't have powerful allies. Well, let's go ahead and raise everything. We'll just disband these guys. Oh, about 17,000 coming together up there in Scotland. Let's disband you as well. We can bring over almost 4,000 from Scotland, or not from Scotland, from Galicia. And I guess we can't raise any more from... Oh, this is the Jerusalem army, of course, that's fine. It all sounded as another of Duke Wulfgar's paranoid delusions, but I had to agree when he invited me for dinner that the food had an odd taste and a rather strange lingering aftertaste. Someone might be trying to poison him. Well, he's not paranoid. He is a hedonist, though. We can say that he'll get our help, and he's grateful. We can have a 10% chance of becoming ill from eating the funny-tasting food, or we can get him to pay us. We'll just offer to help him. Sounds fine to me. And we've actually vassalized the Sunni character in here rather than taking that directly. I thought we declared with the Holy War CB, but I guess it was actually de jure. In any case, we can just give him as a vassal to our King of Galicia. And it will no longer be our problem. Okay, we have an errant subject converting. And I see England's army. Perhaps coming northwards here. And no, they're headed south. Maybe we're going to siege some of our land down here. They're actually sieging something down here in Devon. There's a holding belonging to the Templars. Okay. Our mother-in-law has died a natural death. So let's see, we have 21,000 here, and I think we should have a few more arriving. Kaiser has sent over some troops. And our court chaplain has been successful. So we have everything down here converted, and we can move him over to Jerusalem, which I imagine is still largely not Catholic. Okay, so Durham is plains. I think England is probably heading to attack the Kaiser's army here, so maybe we'll try to go and reinforce that, even though the terrain isn't in our favor. We land in Cumberland. Might have been a bad idea, actually, because he could have decided to come in and attack us there. But it seems like he's still headed to Durham. I think we'll just go in and reinforce. This may not be the best idea. We'll see how it looks when we're about to arrive. So 26th is when our first army will get there. And the other one's 5 days behind. I don't really like the look of this. I think we'll wait and let this battle end before we move against the English army there. Okay, so no river crossing, and Durham is plains. We have an 8,000 or so advantage in troop numbers. The 4,000 here is definitely not going to get there in time. I don't think they probably have any other large army anywhere. At most they could have a couple of thousand. Probably aren't going to get here in time. Though as it turns out, we are going to catch them. It's the Kaiser's army that's getting out on the 15th. Alright, I think this is going to be a pretty good battle. And we do have an advantage in the center here with our commanders, but evenly matched or even at a slight disadvantage otherwise. I think the numbers are going to be the main factor here, though. Ooh, we actually lost our center and our right. So that's a defeat. Alright, well, I guess we're retreating up to Strathclyde, or Strathern, sorry, which is plains. We'll probably move then into the hills so that we are a bit safer. They're not pursuing us directly though, so I think we're going to be okay to hang around up here and reinforce a bit. Gulnaz, the wife of Satrap Abbas II of the Anazid satrapy, has been spending a few days in Gary. It has been a very nice experience meeting her. Maybe our peoples are not that different after all. I guess we'll write to this satrap and become friends, yeah. Looks like the HRE is actually going to land more troops over here, which is not necessarily a good idea. So he's all the way over here. He's glad to hear that we're well and that his wife's visit was a good experience. Unfortunately, in these times, pacts are broken left and right, and to avoid going back on my word in the future, I'd rather not give this kind of guarantee. I hope you understand. That actually is fine with me. Don't worry about it. Alright, let's head back down here and we can have our army reinforce a bit. Our grandson Gillespie needs a childhood focus. He'll go for struggle, I suppose. And we also need to appoint a new commander. So that can be this mayor. Alright, well, we are out of time for this episode, so we'll leave it here. Next time, hopefully we'll be able to recover from that first setback and win our war against England. But thanks for watching, and join me again then.